Hello YouTube, this is Russian Torts here, and today's video is going to be about propagating aquarium plants. And propagating aquarium plants is basically just a fancy way of saying cutting and replanting aquarium plants, which will allow you to spread them in your aquarium faster and have healthier growth. So first of all, the tools that you need to do this are really sharp and long scissors. So as you can see, these aren't normal scissors. They're made especially to cut aquarium plants. They're really sharp. They work perfectly for me. And tongs. These tongs, again, they're for planting aquarium plants because at the end they're kind of on an angle, so it's easier to get the plant into the substrate. Ideally, you'd have scissors that are on an angle as well, but I don't. These still work fine for me, but that would be a lot better if they're on an angle. So let's start off in my beta aquarium with the Java Fern, which you can see right here, and the Anubias, which is difficult to see, but it's on the log there, and it's those big green leaves that don't belong to the banana plant. And I'll show on the Java Fern as it's easier to show. These plants have rhizomes, and rhizomes are pretty much the green stem-like part, of the plant at the bottom there. So you can see green stem there and a green stem there, and the plants, the leaves of the plant grow out of those rhizomes. And the way you can propagate Java Fern is by cutting the rhizome into 2 pieces or into 3 pieces and tying those new pieces of Java Fern that you got to some decor in your aquarium, or just letting it float in your aquarium, and those pieces will grow bigger and you will have multiple pieces of Java Fern. But also, as you can see, Java Fern spreads on its own. So as you can see, there's 2 small leaves at the tip of this big leaf, and I have some more back there. So Java Fern, if you don't care about spreading it everywhere in your aquarium, you can just let it grow on its own and let it do its own thing, which is what I'm doing. You really don't need to spread Java Fern. Next, I have the banana plant, and I'm really not quite sure about how to propagate the banana plant. I've heard that the one way to do it is by taking a leaf and burying it underground. So just sticking that leaf under the ground, which I kind of can't do since there's other plants there. But doing that, and then a new plant will grow from that. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it works, but it seems reasonable to me. I wouldn't know any other way of doing it. Next, you can see, I'm sorry about the glare, I'll try to block it out with my body. There. You can see the big stem plant on the left side. That's all the green stuff that's kind of floating at the top there. It's not actually floating, the bottom of the plant is back there. That really is super easy to propagate. All you need to do is cut off the tips, and what I do is throw them in the garbage, since this plant just grows like crazy. But if you want to spread this plant in your aquarium faster, or any other stem plant, you just cut off the part that are in your way. So for me, that's once it gets past half over here, and replant them in your aquarium. Just stick them in the ground again, preferably with a substrate that isn't sand. It's kind of difficult to grow plants in sand, but yeah, so like fluval stratum, that'd be a great substrate to use. Then there's plants that you really don't need to propagate, like the microsorts over here. They just grow everywhere they can grow. So everywhere where it's really sunny, or well, there's a lot of light, and that's where they go. It takes them some time, but yeah, and I really don't recommend cutting these plants and then replanting them, because they will go everywhere they can go, and you really don't need to spread them to places where they can't grow anyways, because then they'll just die. Like I have some back here. Oh, I just scared the fish. But I had some back here, and as you can see, there's not a lot left because it's not sunny enough over there. There's not enough light, so they just die. So really, the microsorts, and in my shrimp aquarium, the dwarf sage, I wouldn't recommend trying to spread that, because it spreads on its own. As you can see here, the dwarf sage is growing out of the ground, more over here, and all the way back here as well. So it really grows everywhere it can grow by itself. And then these stem plants here, again, you can cut off the top. I would recommend you cut off at this level right here, and then you can either throw the tops away, which is what I would do in this case because there's no more space for me to plant them, or replant them. And another good thing is once you cut off the tops, if like 2 new tops will grow out of that area. So it's really, you can also make your aquarium plants look a lot more luscious when you cut them, because it will allow them to spread better. So that was my video on how to cut and replant or propagate aquarium plants. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.